Hi, it's Tara. Happy January. January 2021. Can you believe it? Yeah, it's strange how all the years pile up, and we got to put 2020 on that pile, so here we are. For many of us, it's been a slow start this year, whether that's because Christmas was a little bit strange, a little bit quiet. What I noticed in Sherwood Park was it was like a ghost town. And I've heard that a lot of people were kind of cocooning over Christmas. Some people got out to their cabins for very small family gatherings in those locations. It's just different for everybody. And everybody's been really looking forward to 2021 because we all want a fresh start. We know that New Year's really isn't a fresh start, but it's always a nice idea. And nice ideas are okay. Now here we are in January, and again it's kind of a strange beginning. Many of the kids are still in the house. Well, all the kids are in the house because school hasn't really started up. It will be next week, hopefully. And so we're still lingering in this mindset of how do I restart? What is a start? What am I going to build into this year? What am I going to subtract from this year? And with all of these goals or motivations that hopefully we can find a way towards, a really, really great idea, maybe I'd even say an essential this year, is accountability. Now, some of us are more able to go in it alone when we're setting out with goals and visions and mindsets, but I don't know if this is the year for us to try and do it on our own. So what is this idea of accountability? Sometimes we can feel a little reactive to that word, accountability. It's like a pride thing, or it's a fear thing. Maybe we've tried it in the past and we got hurt, it didn't work out. Maybe we just really have a hard time letting go of our self-sufficiency. I don't know. But accountability is actually something that we're designed for from an attachment perspective. We're created for relationship, and relationship is actually essential to survival in early development. You know, children won't survive without an adult with them when they're infants. And so there's this belief, this truth knit into us, we need people. Right now we need people. Isolation is the enemy of mental health. So building an accountability structure is really key. And I'm just going to give us a few brief points to consider as we're working towards the goal of accountability. Let's just start there. What if I had accountability? Let's not really worry about too many of the other pieces that are going to come next. So the idea with accountability is really a test of trust. Trust is a hard thing, you know, especially as adults. Most of us have gotten burnt a time or two in relationships. Most of us have a story, a family of origin. Well, I mean, we all do, right? And those things make it harder to trust. There's a risk in reaching out for accountability. We could stop ourselves right there. We can build a block because it's frightening or it's activating to even consider trusting somebody else, let alone what would I trust them with. So the whole process of accountability is really vulnerable. From an emotionally focused point of view, we really start to understand that vulnerability is the key to fostering growth in ourselves and in relationships. It's part of the design of attachment, is that we really long to know that we could be vulnerable with somebody, that they will see us, they will meet us in our unmeetable place. Beginning of January, I feel pretty unmeetable. You have a whole year set ahead of me, and I can succumb to the crush of all those things that I feel like I failed for in the previous year. And who hasn't felt like a failure in 2020? I mean, hopefully we've all had some achievements, we've all had some goals that were acknowledged or received, but it's not been a great year, and most of us just haven't met the standard that we wanted to. 2020, I joked a lot about shooting for a solid C+ or C-. I mean, that was a way of acknowledging to myself that I just wasn't there. I felt accountable when I would say things like that. 2021, I'm hoping to regain some footing, but I need this accountability. I need to have people in my life that I will press myself to be vulnerable with. So what are some markers of a person that maybe we could be vulnerable with, that we could trust, that we could hold ourselves accountable to? First off, I think it's really important that this is a person that we admire. I look at you and I see someone that I want to emulate. You have something that I believe is valuable, and you seem like-minded, or somebody that would challenge me, reproof me. You got some good stuff going on, and I'd like to know more about that. Somebody that we really believe that we could trust our secrets with. You know, lots of times in athletic worlds, we're going to send pictures of ourselves in our athletic clothes so that we can do some comparisons. That's a real test of trust and security. That's a test of, will you hold the secret? You need to know that whatever you're working on, whether it's health and wellness, exercise, dieting, alcohol consumption, you know, communication with your partner, making big, difficult decisions, it's very vulnerable. And there's things that we want to know our accountability person will hold close to them, that they're not going to go air our personal struggle and what we're facing. That's secrets, and trusting our secrets are really key to accountability. It's somebody that we need to be able to share our failures with. When I'm failing, I need to tell you. When I break down and I don't meet my goal, I need to be able to tell you. I also, on the flip side, need to tell you when I'm successful, that we can trust people. When I do something amazing, that I say to you, hey, here's my amazing thing. And you're going to say, wow, I'm proud of you, I'm happy for you. That's a very vulnerable experience as well. How often in our lives are we able to say, damn, I'm good, and somebody says, yes, you are? It's accountability, and that's vulnerable. It's vulnerable to trust that somebody would say, yeah, you're doing a great job. And also somebody, you know, that we can really go to with our fears. So from an attachment and emotionally focused perspective, in our vulnerable place, we really are starting to notice, you know, what do I need and long for from people, and what am I afraid about that people just won't meet me for. So accountability is a place where we can start to touch on those things, that I could talk about my fears or what I long for from people, and that maybe you would be there with me in that moment. I could talk to you, and I don't have to. I might not. I probably won't. But there's a sense that I could. These are a few things to consider as you're holding this in your mind. Take a breath. Think. Who comes to mind? Can you see face or faces? Possibilities of accountability. Let your mind touch on those images. And just notice, evaluate, and consider, who will I be accountable to? And then figuring out a plan to muster up the courage to reach out and ask them. All right, you guys, let's be in this together. Let's find our tribe, find our people. Let's get accountable, and let's just keep moving forward. One day at a time. Blessings to you.